Hi, let me explain something to you. If you're going to work with me, you are on call 24 hours a day. Don't you ever have your fucking phone not on. You understand me? Call me back immediately. Nah, you don't have to call me back, but I just want to talk about the show, but we could do it tomorrow. Andy's good, so we'll figure it out, and I'll see you then. All right, bud. Bye.
Yeah, everybody, and that's how you run a fucking business, okay? That's how you be in charge, and sometimes you gotta crack some heads, right, Matt?
Yep, that's right.
You probably don't you're probably not used to that kind of stuff, but
yeah, you fucking work at a Montessori school. They're probably like, how do you feel about working today?
Yeah, that's my friend and roommate Andy Haynes, who's back today. You know what's nice about having a roommate who can't afford to give you a security deposit is you can use him for stuff.
Damn,
so
shade.
he walks the dog, and then we have basically a built-in podcast guest whenever we need one.
Well, I think it is fair to say that I've had some bad luck.
Yeah.
Even though, despite trying my damnedest, I'm a loser, and I'm happy to be here.
Hey, so am I.
Yeah, but at least, I tried. You fell into loserdom.
Right. Well, you were kind of set up for success, and you messed up. Anyway.
I didn't even mess up that bad. Just this world,
Yeah.
It sounds like
anyway,
I think both of you guys are very successful.
I know.
Matt.
It's so funny when you get successful, how, you forget about where you came from so easily. Like, we used to be happy to do, 3 minutes on a Tuesday at 1 a.m. at the pit.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, I can't believe I didn't get the fucking quarter hours.
Well, I mean, I'm a small business owner, so really, it's all on us if we succeed or fail. But I want to talk about this because I did leave Matt that voicemail. But Matt, after the episode last week, asked me for a raise. So, and I'm happy to pay him more, but I'm pretty sure that his feminist girlfriend put him up to it because
I wish you were recording when you said, "Did Shelby put you up to this?"
No, I'm pretty sure that Shelby was like, "You need to get in there and ask him for more money," because Shelby's 24 and she works, in corporate America, and I feel like Shelby just read this book that's like, women are badasses, and you just have to take whatever you want, eat another guy's lunch, it doesn't matter,
yeah.
These girls always go way too far with this shit.
Start calling each other queens and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like you went from...
Yeah, she recommended a good book to me, Lean In.
Did she? Yeah. Probably.
Did you read?
Sheryl Sandberg. Yeah, it's really hard to be a fucking millionaire. It's hard to be CEO of Facebook when you have a cunt. Anyway.
Oh, no.
What?
Nothing.
I'm going to fight with Deb right now, too, and I don't want to...
Who doesn't want to talk about it?
Maybe we'll get into it later. Excuse me, I'm running the business here. Deborah, this is my time in the living room. I signed the sign-out sheet.
Deborah bought Mike all this really good Italian food. She brought it
from my favorite place in Staten Island, Joe and Pat's.
And then Mike instantaneously was being a prick.
Is that what happened?
100%.
That's not true. Anyway,
he's got an immigrant mindset where he's literally he would be happy to put a Chinese family in Deb's office if it meant that he could pay $300 less a month.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Deborah, shut the fuck up. This isn't your podcast. Oh, good. Oh, look. Now she's got her hands on my neck because that's how you win an argument.
Lean into pegging, Mike.
I've told this story on Cometown before, but this was on one of the message boards. So the night that I met Will Menaker and a lot of those guys, I look over and Deb's talking to Will for a while, for 20 minutes, and it was the only time that I ever felt myself get jealous. And I'm like, I wonder what they're talking about. And I go over and Deb's just in Will's face, being like, "Don't tell me that I'm oppressed because I'm a woman." So do not tell me that I am less capable because I have a vagina. And Will's like, well, but the system and stuff like that. But that's and Deb's like, no, I don't want to hear that.
I like that. I like a good Staten Island broad feminist because she's like, just kick a guy in his balls.
Yeah.
If he won't give you the same amount of money, just fucking key his car for an entire month. She
is super fun. One of the funniest things she ever said, she goes, yeah, well, I didn't go this long not getting raped because I'm not sexy.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
You're
She's
in
very
love.
what's that?
I said you're in love.
That's one of the things I really love about her is she is she's warlike, she's battle tested.
Sure.
She's battle hardened. She doesn't complain.
And I
She's
date all these girls in LA that are like, today I saw a dog in a car and I had to call in sick to work.
yeah, too much emotional distress.
That's going to give me some points for all our female listeners.
Yeah, all half of them. We just have one trans. We have one pre-op trans woman who's enjoying the show, and it's like another like just MRA, you know.
yeah. Oh, that's gotta be hard. There probably is a guy out there that's an MRA activist that's going to transition.
But is he doing a male to female or a female to
Male
male?
to female.
What's MRA?
Men's rights
activist.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm surprised you never got into that at some point
Yeah.
in your young life. Yeah.
so I have to go on my 19th Bumble date this week that I'm paying for with credit cards that are maxed out. But
Oh my God. That sounds
And
so
I keep
sad.
telling you, Andy, why don't you bring the girls over
Yeah.
here? You can cook. I'll stay out of your way.
Yeah, bring
You
her back.
can,
We'll play Mafia 3 together.
Yeah.
meanwhile, Mike's like, hey, there's this funny interview with Charles Manson that I found. Like, I bring the girl over and I'm like, all right, this is my place. It's like a little small. And Mike's like in like a Fila
Playing
tracksuit
Shadow
on
of
the
Colossus
couch.
in my underwear, just swearing, like, hitting myself, autistically punching myself in the head.
He's like, you really don't think the Jews did 9/11? And I'm like, I'm sorry. He's usually asleep by now. This is my
No,
landlord.
because yeah, because Larry Silverstein just said, "Oh, I said to pull Building 7." Like nobody questions that, right? Yeah, Building 7 just collapsed, didn't it? All right. Anyway, back to this mafia shit. Wait, did Shelby tell you to ask me for a raise?
No, she was impressed that I did though. We had sex after that.
Whoa.
The ultimate
Oh, so you're just
aphrodisiac.
using me to fuck your girlfriend
Yeah.
He read.
I can't do it
to
without
have
you.
to have your once a month sex.
There's a new book, and it's the game for when you're in a relationship.
Somebody should write that.
It's
I'm
how to,
serious.
Oh, that's
it's how to
great.
neg your girlfriend into fucking you, and you do it by asking your podcast boss for a raise.
yeah.
Like, wow, you showed a lot of confidence today with
No,
your
we're
friend.
Well, we're partners, and Matt does a lot of work. But I mean, like right now, we do a 65-35 split. What he asked me for was a 60-40 split.
That seems fair.
Yeah, it seems fair, and he does do a lot of work, and he has to deal with me. So, what do you listeners think? Huh? Sound off on Twitter. Should Matt get a raise?
Do not.
Sound off on
tweet
the
it.
boards.
Tweet
I
it
hope this bit isn't funny.
At Matt Anderson at Twitter. Wait, let me get your Twitter handle.
It's Manderson Comedy.
Yeah, Manderson Comedy. Tweet at Manderson Comedy. Tell him if you think he deserves more money.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, and if you're listening, I think both me and Mike would love it if Hims would sponsor the show because we need better hair restoration, right?
Mine's like, I'm not balding like you. You don't have to drag me down.
You
to
are
your-
balding exactly like me.
Yeah,
we have
dude.
almost the exact same forehead.
Yeah,
I
you're like
guess
4
it's-
years behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's thinning a little bit. My hair started turning gray when I was like 26.
Yeah, you're lucky though. You already found love. To go out there and
Yeah,
just
love.
Jesus.
Yeah, I found love. I live under this umbrella of fucking insanity all the time, and I just have to.
Your life is great, Michael.
It's like living with a homeless person.
It's fun with Mike because Mike is like an old neighborhood guy. Like we see that bottle of Dayquil right there. He spilled it the other night, and he has not owned up to it. It's very obvious that it was Mike, and Mike is just he's acting like he's on a grand jury the whole time. He's like, "Does anybody have proof that I touched the bottle? Was anybody present for it?" Like he won't admit it. It's great.
Well, no, these two are ganging up on me because what's basically happening is Andy's trying to infiltrate my house and destroy my life. So, and he's doing all these little like power move shits where he's like, your toilet's broken. Hey, we should do this. Hey, we should take these knives and take them out of the drawer. And I'm like,
yeah,
stop.
where's your little magnet
it's-
rack?
He's trying
need
to
to get a-
he's trying to destroy my relationship.
These power
from the
moves
inside.
like
Andy
going to
just-
Home Depot 3 times a week to fix Mike's house. That's
Andy-
my
Andy-
power move.
Andy just destroys everything he encounters. He's like,
Can't
he's
you
like
just
one
be
of those
comfortable
bugs.
squatting here?
I'm radioactive.
Andy's like one of those bugs that burrows in the head of a bird and just kills it and just lays eggs and doesn't even eat the bird.
That's beautiful.
This looks like a great
Never
home.
been so complimented.
And this motherfucker kind of looked like a oh wait, oh shit, I'm biting off. Take that out.
Got it.
You gonna say I'm a bug that eats dust?
No, he's just ripping a bit from.
I was saying that you look like a bug, but I can't. Yeah, that's.
I mean, if I were a regular on this podcast, I would be the Friedland of it because I am like the foppish kind of faggy know-it-all, you know?
I don't know. I think I'm more bullyable. You're farther along in your career. You guys could easily shit
guys,
on
you're
me.
both faggots.
All right, let's get into this guy. Let's get into Tommy Karate.
I love being a podcaster.
Where did we leave off? Mike?
Imagine how stoked
We
the
left
guy
off.
that thought of podcast, the very first guy to do that, like a weed centric. He was like, "This is going to be the podcast,"
And that would be so huge, but the stoners lack the follow through.
I
Yeah.
would get sick of that
Yeah.
pun after 2 episodes.
Yeah, but you're not a degenerate who smokes marijuana.
Yes, I
See, those
am.
people.
I haven't smoked at all for February, but I smoked every day for 7 years.
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
Look, the pot.
It's great. I mean,
Righteous.
I invested in Canadian marijuana. It's not doing well.
how much have you lost now?
1,500 just on that stock.
Jesus Christ!
And you haven't
Well, I'm
reinvested.
So that's why you're trying to
No,
rent out Deb's office.
Yes, I am.
Wait,
Trying
is that
to
the
make
fight?
The fight is
basically
that
we can
Mike
get into that later.
wants to really he wants to, and I like that you say with the security deposit, like you don't, like you're not going to get the money back. You have the security deposit in there, right?
Yeah,
So it's not like
but I
you're-
had to front it. I had to take money out of my account to give it back to my brother who moved out. But that's okay. You need help, you know. We all need some help sometimes, Andy. I'm happy to
you are helpful. Thank you.
lean on me.
All right, so where do we
Because
leave off?
Andy's a bum. He's terrible with money.
I'm all
He
right.
spends it all on Mexican vacations.
A couple of them I didn't go on, but I paid for them.
What?
I got tired.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Tommy Karate.
Excuse me. This is my show, and right now we're gonna do a commercial. No, that'll be later in the show. All right, so we left off. Yeah, Tommy Karate.
Phyllis.
He's got a girlfriend named
Celeste used to have a girlfriend named Celeste.
Yeah,
Celeste
she
just
fucking
died
died.
'cause to go to sleep like a real intelligent lady.
She was doing coke all night. Yeah, and she was like, "I'm tired," so she did heroin.
Yeah, you know when you're
And then she
tired
died.
and you're like, what if I shot heroin?
Yeah. So Tommy's whole thing was like Celeste had this friend named Phyllis, and he never really liked Phyllis. He thought Phyllis was a bad influence on Celeste.
A bum.
A bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever have that? You ever date a girl who's friends with some bum ass bitch?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When I'm swiping, when I'm
Yeah.
out there swiping for broads,
Uh huh.
if I see a friend of theirs that looks like somebody I would never want to hang out with, I'll swipe
you?
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to do. Like one time,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
girl had a friend, and the friend, like in the picture, she looked like she was probably like 6'2", and I was like, I don't want to hang out with this tall ass lady.
Yeah, yeah. You ever hear the song "Real Talk" with R. Kelly?
Yeah,
He's like, and next time y'all get horny, go fuck one of your funky ass friends. Hell, you're probably already doing that anyway. Real talk. Listen to Real Talk. It's one of the best songs ever. At one time I was fighting with Deb. I just turned on Real Talk and I just sang along to it.
Oh my god, you're a nightmare. You're a literal nightmare.
great.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that I'm
uh,
going to have this time to, see how to operate in a relationship. It's
Yeah,
great.
see what keeps a lady.
So
Listen.
what happens? Oh, and also, doesn't Phyllis date like loosely Tommy's friend?
So that was kind of like disputed. It wasn't clear. So Tommy Patera had an associate named Frank Ganji, and it wasn't clear if they had just hooked up this one time or if Phyllis was Frank's girlfriend. But Ganji was a close associate of Patera. And so Celeste overdoses, and Patera sort of makes it his mission to he wants to kill Phyllis. And Ganji's like, Phyllis, he wants to kill you. You got to get out of town. And Phyllis is like, I don't know. I think I'm fine. I don't think he's going to do nothing. I don't know. I got all my stuff here. I wonder why. It's weird that she didn't just leave town.
Well,
I guess
isn't
she
it the
wasn't
code?
afraid of him. What?
You're not allowed to hurt women when you're in the mafia.
Yeah, that could have been probably part
So
of it.
she thought she had the
She probably
protection.
thought she was
you
safe.
can't whack a lady,
No, it's frowned upon. I mean, they do it.
but
Greg's-
you'd have
Nothing
to
ever
get the
happens.
approval, right? Basically,
Yeah. I mean, if there's a woman who's an informant or something, I'm sure you can get rid of her that way. But so Tommy wants Phyllis dead. He makes it his mission. He's like, I'm gonna kill Phyllis, and Phyllis is like, whatever. So one night, Frank Angie hooks up with Phyllis. They do a bunch of drugs. They have drug-fueled sex, is what the documentary. I've never had drug-fueled sex, by the way. I feel like
You're
it'd be
missing out.
tough.
I've had drug-fueled sex, but it was like pot edibles.
Yeah.
And it would just meant that we were like really slow and neither of us came.
Right. It's a shame. It's a shame that your dick doesn't work on cocaine because I've done coke maybe twice in my life, and you are just so confident.
Yeah.
Like I've never been. I was like walking around Sunset Park at like 5 a.m, just like talking to deli guys and like.
I did
mean,
coke
this is why.
once in Vegas with my writer's room at my old job. Like we all put on suits and got like the biggest, what do you call those? Like suites that you can get. Like it would like looked like, you know, like a giant
movie.
apartment. It looked like the Hangover thing. But we're all coked out of our mind. But I don't drink at this point. I'm just smoking weed. And so I'm in the club later on at night, really stoned, but also high on coke. And I'm
he's
just like,
no thanks, I'm sober.
yeah, screaming in women's faces. I'm like, hey, do you want to dance with me? Like I have no idea what my volume is. It was wonderful.
Those places can be loud, though, in your defense. You know?
Yeah. Also, I mean, the fact that I was sweating and my nose was probably very red. That was probably like a
Wondering what kind of dance you might have been doing when you said that.
big, yeah, it was very Night of the Roxbury. Sorry, I'm really distracting from our
no, that's
Italo-American.
Our great American narrative of Frank and Phyllis, a love story. Somebody should make that movie. We should pitch that to I don't know, Netflix.
IFC.
Yeah, IFC would be perfect. Netflix or Hulu or something. But anyway, so Frank and Phyllis, they have crazy whoppy drug fueled sex, and so Tommy calls
Phyllis,
Frank.
I can smell your ass.
Oh boy, it smells like my nonna's pasta.
Oh, Phyllis, did you just queef? That's delicious.
Oh, your queef smells like a Berjol.
What is that?
What's an Italian dessert? I'm trying to think. Oh,
Tiramisu.
oh, your taint tastes like a rainbow cookie.
If you weren't such a tramp, I'd marry you.
Yeah.
Now get out of town. Tommy wants to kill you.
So then Tommy calls Frank.
Yeah.
And Frank knows that Tommy knows that he's with Phyllis. So he's like, what's going on? And Frank goes, oh, I have Phyllis here, Tommy. And Tommy goes, good work, Frank. Keep her there. So Tommy comes over with a couple guys. And he says, listen, Phyllis, I'm really disappointed that you let my friend down. And I wish that things were differently. Just kidding. He killed her.
Yeah. How did he kill her, though?
Well, I think one of his associates shot Phyllis in the head.
They didn't torture her? I thought he had all those torture books and he was like
I don't
looking
think he
for
tortured
revenge.
Phyllis.
Yeah,
I think he had like but he didn't he kind of seem like at this point he's starting to kind of like lose it, right? Like he's like starting to become like so efficient at killing that he's like killing everything. Like
Yeah.
his body count's like skyrocketing. And so Phyllis, I mean, he wanted to kill her versus it was just a hit.
Right. I feel like it's fun to kill somebody. Like when you finally, destroy me mentally, Andy, and you go to kill me, you're going to enjoy it.
There was a time when me and Mike were moving right before I left for LA, and I was like yelling at Mike because I don't know, like this piece broke on this job or something. And I was like yelling at Mike, and Mike I could see in his head was like just about to kill me. Like there was like a good chance that he was gonna break a table leg off and just start stabbing me in the throat with it. Like there, now am I doing a good job now? Like I could see his like wheels turning, and I was like, oh.
Well, there's nothing worse than a mover who treats moving like it's fucking rocket science. Not that you're like that, but there's some other guys I work with that are worse. But yeah,
I feel like you're the Bill Belichick of moving. Like you have this huge branch of coaches that have branched off of your teaching. Like he would be the assistant coach.
I really would be actually. I probably have the biggest influence.
You
in
trained.
New York
You
moving.
trained most of the guys. Yeah, you trained most of the.
And it's weird now that my moving company's treating me like a fucking peon.
Yeah.
It's like I'm worse than Harbo. I'm not even in college. I'm like doing like junior college coaching. Fucking bullshit. I'm a champion. I'm one
The
of the
Bill
best.
Belichick of moving. Except moving is basically just, hey, pick this up and put it down.
No, that's not true. I was one of the best movers. I honestly, it pissed me off. And here's why I mention it. Because I'm not good at things naturally. There's not a lot of things that I do and I'm just good at them. And moving was one of those things that I could just I could move an entire house, not break anything, real efficient, and, quick.
Yeah.
And then you tell me to write a joke, and I've been doing it every night for 13 years, and I'm like, what's the deal with just bullshit.
But every mover thinks they're the best mover.
Yeah, I guess. I just wish I was naturally better at.
How did you fuck up? How did you break this piece? Do you remember?
I forget. But
Here's
that's
the
just what
best
happens.
part.
That's what happens on the job.
I broke it.
Broken.
I broke it, and I just blame Mike.
Yeah, exactly. No, I let him get away with a lot of bullshit because I know that he's dealing with a lot of stuff inside.
That was before I took antidepressants.
Really?
So.
And Andy's a guy. You just got to let him think he's in charge.
Yeah.
And I think I'm pretty good at it. Andy would be like homeless and he'd be living, in my guest house, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mike, I think we should change the faucet knobs."
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
And Mike would be
I'm glad we're
like,
getting
"What?
this.
The cans that I shaped into faucet handles aren't good enough for you?"
I'm glad we're getting this out on the pod. It feels good, doesn't it? Anyway. He kills, they shoot Phyllis in her apartment. And one thing Patera was very good at was dismembering. He read books. Apparently, he studied in. There was somebody said there was a rumor that he studied how to dismember people in Japan. They were like, "You dismember the body and then you shit inside."
He just went
Those
to
people are always shitting and stuff.
he just went to sushi school.
Yeah, he's got to roll the body.
Yeah. Right. Just rolls in a rug and then chops it up.
That's when they find the bodies. They're like, "Wow, it's a Phyllis roll."
Yeah. So he dismembers Phyllis, and there was a rumor that he kept Phyllis's head in his freezer.
Right.
That's how much he hated this fucking broad.
You think he would go and have conversations with her? He's like, now who looks stupid?
Yeah.
Now who's too much of a control
He's
freak?
moving her lips like a puppet.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Hello, Tommy. Tommy,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I killed Celeste.
Do you think you could, if Tommy Karate was to come in about to murder you, do you think you could be able to challenge him to a karate fight?
come on.
And then,
No.
What kind of question is
fight me like a
He
man.
won a scholarship
he was
from the Japanese. Do you know how good you have to be to get
just to get him to throw down his gun?
to give you money?
Step one.
Yeah, but then he beats me to death.
Well, I mean, that's better than getting shot or chopped up.
No, Tommy, I prefer death by nunchucks.
All right, here's a
Yeah,
question. You got
yeah.
a gun.
Uh-huh.
You got one bullet. Do you think you can beat Tommy Karate?
How close are we?
He's at the door. You're on the couch.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough. He probably knows how to disarm it. So unless I was really quick,
He probably also knows a move to where to get shot. Like if somebody's trying to shoot you, how to get shot and still fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. If you lost to a guy with a bullet hole in him in a fist fight, that would be the worst.
yeah.
I think
Did
Tommy
you-
Karate could do it.
Did you guys see the new drawing for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? They're making a new show. People
No.
are fans are really mad because they changed the turtles.
They're skinny.
No, well they're different sizes, and Raphael is the leader instead of
Leonardo.
and then their weapons are different. Like Michelangelo doesn't have nunchucks anymore. It's messed up.
He's just got a lot of pronouns.
Yeah.
Lady Ninja Turtles.
Sometimes I feel like a lady. Sometimes I feel like a boy. Gender fluid, yo. Anyway, we're
Aren't
get
turtles
this-
asexual?
What's
Don't
that?
they, aren't turtles? Don't they fuck each other? I don't know. It seems like a
Asexual.
turtle thing. They.
Asexual means no sex.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're sexual.
what's fuck
They're
everything?
highly sexual.
Yeah.
Turtles
They're
fuck, bro.
Turtles are the retarded kids of the forest. They just fuck all the time.
Nobody's ever talked about how weird it is, animals that don't actually fuck, where the women just lay a bunch of eggs and then the guys just jizz all over the eggs. That's
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of salmon.
Reptiles and stuff.
Salmon, they just
Salmon
lay all their
fuck.
eggs. No, they don't. They lay all their eggs and then the guys come and they just shoot cum all over them.
And just biologically, that's makes him happy, or
I wonder if I jerk off in a river, there's a chance.
Imagine like
There's just salmon. He's like, could you please hold do you guys have almond milk?
no, no, it's some independent movie about like some half man, half salmon boy that comes find you like, Andy, I'm your son. I'm half a fish.
and
I
fish
eat him,
out
be
of
like,
water.
oh,
I eat him on a bagel.
Yeah, you would. Hey, it's pretty sustainable to eat your own salmon, son. Anyway, so yeah, Tommy keeps Phyllis's head in his thing. Now, Tommy, like we said on the last episode, he loved to murder. He hated rats. He didn't let his guys have beards or mustaches because he said rats have whiskers.
So
He would
funny.
kill pretty indiscriminately, and he was only holding his crew together with fear. And this is something that we see a lot with a lot of these bosses. They think they can that they can instill fear in the guys under them, and that's going to be an effective way to lead, but it's not. You got to respect the guy that you're working for, right?
Yeah.
Because anybody can be whacked or usurped.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Whacked or usurped.
That's my word of the day.
I like it.
Are you a fear-based leader when you move, or you like to?
Mike
No,
is
I don't
actually, I
think
think
so.
Mike doesn't really do Machiavellian shit like that.
No,
I try
don't.
not to because I think it's like kind of a dark thing, but Mike kind of just is what's right in front of him type of thing. Because he constantly
am
is
a leader.
hurting my feelings because I'm asking for his help, and then he's like, "Yeah, that's not funny," and then he just walks away and masturbates.
What do you want? I'm like,
This is. I want to actually.
You want me to
this-
lie
that's
to you?
This is
That's
a
a
great
good
friend,
fucking
though,
lie
dude.
to
That's
you?
a good friend.
Mike is always like, we should run bits with each other, and so Mike will be like, he'll give me this whole bit, he'll run the whole thing out, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's funny. You should say this here and that there, and then I'm like, all right, here's my bit, and I'll be like, what do you think about this? And then he'll go, yeah. And then he'll walk away. That's all he does. And I'm like,
Alexa, white noise.
yeah, Alexa,
masturbates.
white noise, and he leaves. He hasn't helped me with one joke. He just told me that they're not funny on his fucking spectrum that's just based off of
You got to go first, bro.
Goodfellas to fucking
Just-
school shooter to fucking Japanese fucking chatterbait child orphan joke. That's the only things that make Mike laugh.
and my fans. and all the Recine heads out there who are just as autistic.
Dude, I can't wait to hear that bit. Actually,
What did
school shooter and a chatterbait?
What did Enfield used to call you? Racinimal?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he called
So-
himself the Danimal.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
called you Racine the Machine or something like that. It was a good
See,
one.
here's the thing with comedy, right? Not everyone is going to like you, but the goal is to get a small group of people who will kill their mothers for you. So if I'm like, listen, guys, it's you got to have like a group of people like Luis Gomez. You got to go the Luis Gomez route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Logan
leader of
Paul
men.
could get all those YouTube people to kill their mothers?
He could
No.
definitely get some of them to do it, for sure. Logan Paul could for sure get some kids to kill their parents.
But Logan Paul is a fad. Like kids in 10 years, kids are going to be like,
You think
oh yeah, I was
podcasting
really into-"
isn't a fad?
But there's stuff that I watched when I was a kid, like Tough Crowd and The Daily Show that I still,
of course.
But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, Logan
guys, watch
Paul,
Tough. Go on YouTube and watch episodes of Tough Crowd. Deborah.
From you taking the
He's a he's a literal sitcom. Deborah.
Yeah.
Fucking
part of the refrigerator.
Italian Fred Flintstone over here.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we got into the fight. Wait, let's get back to the mafia. Anyway, he was holding his crew together with fear, guys, and that's not a good thing to do.
So wait, okay, so Phyllis is dead. What do the higher ups think about this? Is anybody mad at him for it, or like, is there any kind of blowback for?
The thing at the
Because the
time,
bananas were kind of not. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
they're-
go ahead
they're
because I
kind
want
of-
to talk about this.
They're non-traditional, right? Because they're selling drugs.
Yeah.
They
which makes
sold
them a little
drugs. They were the
different.
only they were the only family that didn't sell drugs. There was also like they got in the I think late 80s, early 90s, they got kicked off the commission because Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco infiltrated them, and that led to a lot of indictments, and it was like a big embarrassment for the Bananas, and they were like kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like
Oof.
They were like all the stocks that I invested in the past couple months. They were way down. Although, how's Disney doing with Black Panther? Let me check that real quick because I bought some Disney stock.
That's
fucking
like
probably
one
pretty smart.
movie.
Black Panther.
You know,
You can invest
No, it is just one
directly
movie.
in the movie too.
you can.
Yeah,
How?
you can buy stock.
Really?
You can buy bonds in a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so Disney's back to 106, so that's good.
Would you buy it at?
I think 106, but it went down.
You got to keep
You
reinvesting
either
when it goes
need to
down.
be a day
Mike.
trader or a long-term guy. Because right
I am
now,
a long-term guy.
You are?
I'm not trading this shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't traded anything yet?
I haven't traded anything yet. I do want to get rid of my Ally Bank because it's doing nothing.
I got rid of all my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was just
You're out?
It was dipping too much.
It seems like such a
I was-
pump and
now it's
dump
back.
type deal where
I got
somebody
in
could
at
buy.
6, and then it was up to 15. I should have sold at that point, but I held on until it was back down to 8 or something like that.
Some billionaire just came in and bought like
400 million.
400 million worth of Bitcoin, and he just
that's why
brought
it's-
the price back up.
That's why it's back to 10. So it's a big, yeah.
So it's
So now more people are going to start buying in. I don't know. It's very weird.
All my
but you
friends
gotta
are
be in
doing
this-
the tiny Bitcoin. Well, I forgot what you call those.
Ripple?
Yeah, whatever all
or
the small
Litecoin,
ones are.
Yeah.
And they're doing day trades and they're making tons of cash. It's crazy. I don't have the energy. I think it's a distraction.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also like a bitch ass kind of way to make money.
Yeah, why don't you
You're
just
not creating
fucking-
anything. We're the three of us. We're creating something.
Gold, sure.
We're actually stopping school shootings by making this podcast.
Yeah. Right now, a kid was on his way to Walmart
Yeah.
to use
To buy an AR-15 in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
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 and he was going to show everybody the equations in his head.
Yeah. God, I feel like just compiling a list of like all the bad takes I saw on the shooting.
Yeah, I mean,
That could be a good.
Is there any? This one's
I
kind of
saw
nice.
some
though.
guy. Some guy goes, so Florida being Florida again. And it's like, wow, that might be the worst take I've heard on anything.
Yeah. It's just such
It's
a
like a kid hides under other male dead bodies, and some guy's like, "Miss me with that gay shit."
oh shit.
Come on, let's. Our only hope is to hide under the dead gym coach. He's like,
Ew.
yeah.
Not gay, bro.
My man trying to make me touch a dude. Yeah, you miss me with that. That's the funniest stuff in the world.
You didn't put that on
miss me with-
Facebook, did you?
No.
Okay. Oh man, I was gonna say, God damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already because I don't really like. One of my problems is branding. Like, I think I probably put myself out there as kind of like an intelligent or like alt comic in a way. But
Yeah, and you're
I have
not.
pretty low fucking low par jokes. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to because I got to get out of here.
All right, so at this point, everyone's got their eye on Tommy Patera, the DEA, the FBI, the New York City detectives. They're trying to build a case, but it's very tough to infiltrate the Bonanno family.
And he's selling drugs.
Yes, he's selling drugs, but it's tough to infiltrate the Bonanno family because if you're not from Gravesend and you're not, you don't get a rec or something, it's just tough to get in. They don't let you in, past. It's like a video game, I guess. You can't get. You're just not allowed to defeat that 11
That'd be
Colossus.
a great video game. It's like a mob game, and you go and you're like trying to like infiltrate the family, and literally for like 30 hours you have to go sit in a shitty dive bar and like, make conversation with an old Italian bartender.
Yeah, and you got to find the right Polish joke to tell. I know. I mean, this isn't my joke. Andy and I Googled Polish jokes the other night, and my favorite one is you hear the one about the Polish guy who locked his keys in his car. He had to use a coat hanger to get his family out.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, we lost this country. We can't tell those.
Dude, let's
can't
make
tell
the
those
sit down the
jokes.
video game.
Can't tell those jokes anymore. Yeah, that would be fun.
Be a made guy.
You ever play the game Mafia?
No.
It was for PS2 and the PC. It was a good game. Anyway, so they're having a very tough time getting to Tommy. Now on
And does the Phyllis thing racist? Like are they conscious of all the murders? Like
I think they know that he did it. They know he's killed a lot of people.
and he's killing a lot of people. He's selling drugs. He's killing a lot of people, and he's also running a bunch of schemes in South Brooklyn. Kind of he's distributing a lot of the drugs to the East Coast too, right?
Yes, I think so.
So he's kind of He's probably the main mover in the Bonanno family outside of he's the main street level guy, right?
Probably. Yeah. I don't think he ever made it to like capo or any high ranking.
Yeah,
He was just made.
He just made.
yeah, he was the leader of the Bath crew. Let me see here. It's the Bath.
The
something.
Bath Beach crew.
Yeah,
Or
the Bath Beach crew.
The Bath Avenue crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like, so after the boss of the Bonanno family got killed, Carmine Galanti, this guy Anthony Sparrow took over.
Did Galanti get killed after the Donnie Brasco shit? Is that what he got killed for?
I think that was before.
Okay.
Might have been before. But that was the other thing that was kind of like a big blow to the Bonanno family. Does anyone care about this WAP shit?
Great question.
Anyway.
Great question.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
they get. So this all leads to them going after Frank, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Frank who?
Ganges,
Who's going after Frank?
the feds, and everybody. Because
Well-
isn't Frank the one that flips?
He is the one that flips. But so
Sorry, I don't mean to.
That's okay. But yeah, so Anthony Sparrow was put in charge of the Bonanno family, and Sparrow was an older guy. He was good at grooming people, and he was kind of eccentric. He had like a pigeon coop on his roof.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
You
sort
think he'd
of
have
known
a
for. So he's
sparrow? Anyways,
a sparrow coop. Hell yeah, dude, we're gonna get that job. They're gonna hand it to us on a silver platter. I want some of this pizza. Shout out to Joe and Pat's Pizza in Staten Island. Deborah brought some home. She went to visit
You're
her
gonna
family.
eat pizza while
No,
you're talking
I don't
about.
think so,
You
but-
got
but
how
Joe-
how much time do you have left?
Joe and Pat's is the
Like
best.
10 minutes.
We don't have that much else.
yeah, I got 10 minutes. Like you guys can finish without me.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Hey, these 52-year-old women that you meet on OkCupid.
52.
No, I only
yeah.
go on dates with like hot, like
Which is sadder.
attractive, like
Which is more
late
sad.
20s, early 30s artistic types.
Okay.
They're all great.
They're all like 24.
Is she from Brooklyn or from Manhattan?
Which one?
The Bumble Date tonight.
She is from Staten Island and Jersey. She's a Fox.
Where does she-
Fox Redder.
He went out with a girl.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going out with a girl that works at Fox News. She's like 23.
Okay.
And Andy
She's
just
25.
Andy just pretends that he listens to the Ben Shapiro show.
Yeah.
when he's out with her.
I'm like,
He's like-
all these SJWs fucking, they don't know how to treat a lady. And then
Yeah.
I push her.
Yeah. Like, yeah, feelings are not your facts. Or facts are not feelings. Facts are not feelings.
What is
Anyway.
my voice? That's not what my voice sounds like. Do I sound like he makes me sound like a retarded?
He makes me sound like a retarded.
I don't have a
like,
lisp.
I don't do a lisp.
Is that
This
what I
is how
sound
you
like?
talk, Andy.
I mean,
You
it's-
couldn't even
it's
tell the
not
difference
Like
if
a
it's
terrible impression.
if it's
but
Mike.
not.
If it's Mike talking
Close,
or Andy
close.
talking.
Hey guys, this is Mike. Sorry if some of you guys got sick from the sauce last week. I forgot that I left
Yeah,
it in
now
my
they
trunk for 3 weeks.
Yeah, now they know it's not me because I would never do that.
Sauce is one thing that I don't joke about.
So now a couple nights later, Frank Gange's driving his car. He went out and he partied, and he's
Drunk driving.
He's drunk driving, and he's swerving all over the road.
Yeah, don't drunk drive. You might take down a crime family. Where's that at?
Yeah, he just runs over like a boss or something.
Oh, you like actually hit some.
No, because they pull him over and he's got what, a bunch of coke in the car?
Well, no, he was just drunk. They put him in jail for the night, and so apparently he said that like he was feeling bad about the stuff that he did,
Killing his
So-
girlfriend.
Yeah, getting his girlfriend killed and her head cut off and put in the
Yeah.
freezer.
Yeah, he's like in the doc. He's like, "Oh, I had to go around the corner store and get a 40. I was feeling real nervous."
Yeah.
He's like, I felt absolutely sick about it when Tommy took a head and he pretended to be fucking it. I felt awful about it. And
Check it
like
out,
when,
Frank.
when he would hold it up
But
in
I'm
front
not
of
a rat. Dude, I was talking to Frank this week, and he was like, "You got to watch the Chris Rock special. It's so bad." I'm like, "Why is it bad?" He goes, "But because he said the cops need to kill some white people. I mean, we don't do the crimes."
It's cute that he
Fucking
that
retarded.
You guys think you're white. That's great.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm
Look at you
basically
fucking weird tribal people, and you're like, we're just like you. We go to all the best schools in the
No, I-
country,
no, I was
like
just saying
Montclair
this.
State,
I was
my
just
alma
saying-
mater, Pizza U.
I was just saying this. If there ever is a race war, it's going to be whites, Indians, and Asians against blacks and Latinos. But Italians are going to be like used as cannon fodder, and then we're going to realize that we're being fucked, and
You guys are
we
gonna be
might
the-
defect to the other side.
We were talking about this the other day about how the ISIS is like super racist. Like the hierarchy of ISIS is like really racist. Like the Arabs and Western Europeans are like treated like the top, like Chechens, all those people.
You think there's some annoying white girl in Iraq, and she's like, "This is a culture of brown supremacy."
Yeah, of course. Well, but then they treat Chinese people like the worst. The Uyghurs, the Western Chinese Muslims, like they just give them like a knife and they're like, run towards the troops. And they give them this drug. I forget what it's called. It's called like they talked about it on Chapo. There's a drug. I can't
It's
think
like
of,
an
it's like an
or
amphetamine,
something.
and like you can shoot the guy and he'll keep running like full speed.
Oof.
And they'll
We're
give him
gonna
that.
test it out on Matt. If you're a Patreon subscriber, we're gonna give Matt amphetamine and
Yeah,
shoot
if you
him.
guys want it for a special episode, we're gonna give Matt this amphetamine, and then we're gonna try to rape him in a padded room.
You guys aren't gonna get me, dude. I've been going to class. I've
That's
been
the
doing
next-
this
oh,
karate
that's
shit,
the
bro.
Are you
next
even training
Logan-
with DA Blow?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's the next Logan Paul video.
Yeah.
I
Amphetamines.
take 10 Adderall, and my brother tries to rape me.
Our friend Diego does MMA, and he trains other comics, and it's real fun. Like I'll just on Facebook, I'll tell him he's gay and he can't fight.
Yeah.
Because what's he gonna do?
Anyways, let's just keep moving on.
All right, so Frank Angie's feeling very guilty. I was watching an interview with him while I was driving home from my road gig this afternoon. That's my new thing. I like to watch YouTube and drive.
Sounds safe.
I just listen to it though, but well, you just you shift your eyes. You go screen road, screen road,
Yeah, I do that
screen
all
road.
the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is why we need self-driving cars. Anyway,
And put truckers out of work. Wow, good thing you really stand with the working man, Matt.
It's
Huh?
funny. Mike sent me a text last night. He was like complaining about his gig, and he was like, "Imagine you driving a truck all week long, and then you go to this. Your wife gets you to go to a show, and he's like, everything for Mike comes back to driving a truck. He's like, imagine you're doing the most honorable job in the world,
Andy, I thought we
driving
could
a
bond
truck.
over- I thought we
Imagine you, a hero, driving a truck, the most pure job in the world."
Yeah, it is. I was trying to basically shit on your ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
So Frank Gangi talks to a detective, and now this is what he said in the documentary. He goes, I was feeling really guilty, and I just felt like I had to tell somebody what I did. Now, that doesn't really sound consistent with the way a lot of these guys talk and, operate. But that's what he said. So Gangi becomes an informant.
what a bitch. What a dumb bitch.
Well, that's one thing that Gangi said. He was like, he's like, yeah, I felt really bad about everything I did. I felt bad about murders, and I felt bad about the ratting. I don't know what was worse. It's tough. Hey, I gotta say something real quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt. You use your how many times a day do you use your stapler?
Maybe like 5 or 6 times a day.
You staple
Why?
shit every day, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You need a good quality stapler, right?
I think I do.
You need a stapler that doesn't fucking suck, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the people at Bob Staplers, really, dude, I swear to God, they make the best fucking staplers on the planet.
Wow.
They're amazing.
What?
I have one, you have one, I got them in my home.
That's right.
I bought one for my girlfriend.
Right. Did you use that to staple?
We staple all the time with these fucking staplers. I love them so much. And you should buy one too. Go to bobstaplers.com and get use promo code sit down, and please buy one of these staplers, folks. They're so good. I like it so much. Sometimes I stick it up my ass to pleasure myself.
I love in mob movies when they use a stapler to torture people and they just staple their clothes to them.
Yeah, you could use that too.
That's right.
Yeah, these are very, very high quality staplers. I love them so much. If you'd like this show, go fucking buy one right now. Please.
And that's bobstaplers.com.
bobstaplers.com.
Check it out.
I also want to say that, vacuuming your house, it's a difficult task, right? I mean, how many times a day do you vacuum?
Maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6, right? I vacuum my house maybe 5 times a day, but it's
Sure.
really tough to like get into corners and grooves.
That's right.
I mean, like what? Like your fucking your cabinets, your drawers, your cabinets and your drawers. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to do that? You're supposed
Right.
to use the Auric or the upright? No, you get a dustbuster, you fucking retard. I want to say that what brand is this? Because I have one in my house. Black & Decker. Black & Decker makes the best goddamn dustbusters I've ever had, and
Yeah.
and really,
And they're
like, you
affordable
guys-
too.
They're super affordable. I mean,
Where'd you get that thing?
What?
Where'd you get that thing?
I mean, look, I'm using it right now. I'm vacuuming in my house right now
On the podcast.
on the podcast.
Wow.
Look, crumbs, pubes, gone. Guys, please go to blackanddecker.com and get one of these amazing dustbusters.
Okay.
You have to.
Definitely.
Everyone at this podcast uses them, so you should too.
Yeah. Don't be a dirty boy.
Yeah, that's blackanddecker.com. Use
Promo code SitDownPod.
use promo code SitDownPod and get 4% off. Guys, I love this fucking
4%.
God damn it, I love this fucking dustbuster so much.
Oh.
Oh God, Andy! Oh God, it's like sometimes I stick my dick in it and turn it on. You know what I do? I take it on vacation. I go through TSA. Because I love this machine. It's the greatest thing that ever fucking happened to me. I take it through the machine. They go, sir, I don't know. That has to be in a bag. I go, this is my emotional support dustbuster. Because now that I have it, I can't go back. I can't go back. I love this thing.
Oh, let's fucking blow through the rest of Tommy Karate. Let's get these people over.
Blackanddecker.com, folks. Get in there. Be a fool not to. All right.
Do you want to say goodbye, Andy?
No, he's not leaving yet. All right.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
I'm going to go see you. I'm sorry. Who?
friend of mine from LA, like a girl that it's not a romantic thing. All right, let's talk for like 1 minute.
All right, cool. So they find their rat with Frank Angie. Now, Frank Angie says, me and Tommy, we participate in a lot of murders. He goes, the bodies are somewhere in Staten Island. They're in this area, but I don't know exactly where the bodies are. So they get a bunch of agents. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that they didn't they go through with like all this technology and they couldn't find anything?
The dogs couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
They had to get these 6-foot poles and push them down in
But
the
that
ground.
was like the last resort was
Right.
that they went through with all this like, sophisticated stuff to find out where the bodies were. They couldn't find anything. Dogs, like heat sensors, X-ray machines, like the best technology. And then I like they spelled it out like this guy was a genius. They were like, one state trooper was like, what if we got poles and just stuck them in the ground? And everybody's like, great idea. So they went down to their cousin's rebar
got a
shop,
pole.
Yeah.
and they got a bunch of poles.
Yeah, and they walked shoulder to shoulder and just through the woods and just stuck poles in the ground. And
Yeah.
finally they found something.
After 4 days.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question, though. Because you would think that, like, the pole would just go through the ground and go through a decaying body.
It was in a suitcase.
Yeah, it was in a
suit-
red
Put everything in
suitcase.
suitcases.
Right. It was in a red suit. But even that, it's not
Yeah,
really a
you'd
great
think that
plan.
it would, like, also like you're pushing through solid earth.
Yeah.
So you'd think that like you wouldn't be able to like
Tell
like,
the difference.
How often did they hit something? They dug it up and it was just a tree root or a rock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
But eventually they
Must have been
find
very
a couple
tedious.
suitcases, and one of them I
The
love.
thing with law enforcement is it's not sexy.
Yeah, it's like activism.
Yeah. Right. It's a lot of grinding. It's a lot of tweeting at people. Anyway, just let us know when you have to go.
I have to go.
Okay, yeah, sign off.
This is Andy Haynes signing off. Feel free to just say anything you want to after this about me, because I'm sure you will already.
You want to plug anything?
Are you guys? Is this going out this week?
Yeah, Wednesday.
I'll be at Heckler's in Victoria.
Canada?
Yeah, March 2nd and 3rd. And I'll be at the Laugh Shop in Calgary March
Sorry,
20.
the club is called Hecklers?
Yeah, it's a sports bar.
What is shitty? Never mind.
And
I
then they
mean,
do
I'm
comedy.
sure
It's
they're
actually
great.
a great room. It's really fantastic.
Hey, I bought my mattress from the bed bug store.
Basically. And then I'll be at the Laugh Shop in Calgary March 22nd and 20 through 24th, which is also in Canada. which maybe when I come back we can do something about the Montreal crime family. And then I'll be back the 4th or 5th,
Sweet.
and then through the rest. I mean, I'm going to live with you for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to be,
You can raise my kids.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn into
I just
the
pull my
uncle
kid aside.
from Bam Margera's show.
I pull my kid aside. Whatever Andy tells you, do the opposite. Okay? I'm trying to teach you how to not be a faggot. Am I too comfortable with that word? I don't know.
Anyways, but I know Mike. Mike, if everybody's worried about Mike's use of the N-word or the F-word,
I don't say the
Mike-
N-word anymore.
Mike does actually jerk off to a lot of gay porn, so I think it's like he's kind of earned it. It's a self-hating F-word, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Which gives me,
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
some power.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
See, Andy. So,
Thanks for coming on again. We got to finish this guy up, huh?
well, yeah. What's there to say? He
Just the trial, I think. Like they caught him.
Mhm.
They got the bodies, so they have hard evidence against him. They got a witness.
it's interesting the way he acted on the trial. But anyway, so they find the bodies. Yeah, they use the poles. They stick them in the earth. There's a suitcase there. They open it up. There's limbs. There's dismembered limbs. Patera was very good at dismembering his victims. He studied it. We actually talk a lot about guys who do this. There doesn't seem to be much of a separation between these guys and serial killers.
Yeah, not at all.
It just seems like maybe these mafia guys are a little more connected.
Yeah, and they have a few more principles. It's beaten into them a little bit.
Yeah. I made Deborah a rabbit for Valentine's Day.
Aww.
And it comes whole. So I bought this whole rabbit, and I go on YouTube and I'm looking up how to butcher a rabbit.
Yeah.
Because it's and there's a guy, and he's this fat farmer guy, and he's petting this bunny, and he's this white bunny.
Oh shit!
And
no.
he's hello, welcome to Wilkshire Farms down here in outside of Asheville, North Carolina. I'm going to show y'all how to butcher a rabbit today. Some of y'all think this is inhumane.
So
I would
terrifying.
encourage you to go on. And he's a nice, fat, middle-aged guy. He's I would encourage you to go on to PETA's website and see some stuff about factory farms. Our animals are they live good lives, until it's time for feeding. So there's a couple different ways to dispatch a rabbit. And he goes, you can do this, you can do this. He goes, the best way I've found is you grab its head like this, and he just kills it on the video, right away. It doesn't even just really lead into it. That's what he's going to do.
That had to be so terrifying.
Yeah.
I like how you posted about it being a dog instead of a rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody was like, Mike.
It did kind of look like a little dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rabbits are good. They're very lean. They're very they're sustainable. So what I did was I chopped it up and I browned it, and then I cooked some onions and carrots and celery. No
Yum.
celery. Some garlic, some prosciutto. Fried that up a little bit.
Yep.
Added some liquid, some chicken broth, some white wine. You cook the white wine
You're right.
first,
You cook it down. Yeah.
and then you put it in. And then you put it in a Dutch oven, and you put it in your oven for about 3 hours.
Okay.
3.5 hours on 300 degrees, and it slow. I'm all about that now. I'm all
Oh,
about
yeah.
braising.
That's kind
You
of like
cook it in
almost
its
like a
own
crock
liquids.
pot type deal. The low heat, long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, crock pots are more for working
Lazy.
mothers.
Yeah, you can't really make
this in here, and you fucking kids better appreciate what I make.
I made us a nice Valentine's meal, Deb.
Yeah. Because there's something white trashy about crock pots.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
This is braising, baby.
Mhm.
So then I took it off the bone and I chopped it up, and then I served it with fresh pasta. It was very good. She's still mad at me for some reason. I don't know what I did, but
I bet you still have leftovers too.
we ate it all.
Wow.
Yeah, or I would have given you some.
Okay.
So anyway, so these agents are trailing Tommy Patera, and they have the information they need on him, and it's time to arrest him and indict him. And so they drive, they follow him, they drive behind him, and they go, "I'm going to ram his car, and then we'll all run out." So they hit his car. Patera jerks forward. They pull him out of the car. They arrest him, and they take him to.
Didn't it take
to
like
trial.
a bunch of guys to get him down too?
It took 6 guys or something. Yeah. Which is crazy. Imagine that would be kind of shitty. You're agent, you never really see combat.
Yeah, now
And
all of a
some-
sudden this fucking
Some
wop
fat wop just
knows karate.
karates you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if somebody like hurts you because they're like only Racine's allowed to say wop?
That'd actually be kind of funny, you know.
Yeah.
If I came to the podcast in a sling and it was just because one of your fans attacked me,
yeah.
that would be funny.
Yeah. So
Not that I'm inviting it, but
So the trial happened. So they charged Patera with 6 counts of murder. He asked his attorneys in the trial. He's like, what'll happen if I get the death penalty? How will they kill me? They go lethal injection. And he looks at the one agent that arrested him. He goes, no, I want you to shoot me.
such a funny request.
Yeah. There is kind of like, I mean, one thing they said in this documentary, they were like, there's nothing really admirable about Tommy Patera, but I think the way he handled his trial was like, he was a guy who really stuck to his principles.
Yeah,
And it doesn't seem like any of these guys do. And
Yeah.
It seems like Patera didn't. Patera just seems like a guy who isn't going to rat on anybody.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to talk about the Bath crew, what is it? The Bath what?
The Bath Avenue crew.
Bath Ave crew. What's he
Yep.
going to talk about that? All those guys are long gone.
Yeah, I mean, he claims that he's still in jail because he won't rat people out. I mean, I don't know at what point. I mean, you got to put somebody in jail, right?
Right.
It can't just be everybody. Yeah, but the Bath Avenue crew was like they were like a younger group of guys that worked for Anthony Sparrow, and actually there was they went to kill somebody, and they got the wrong house, and they ended up shooting this woman in front of her daughter, her like 9-year-old daughter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So stay out of crime, kids.
Yeah, another funny note about the trial is when the verdict was read and he got the life sentence instead of the death sentence, he like smiled and gave a thumbs up to the reporters. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, there was a guy. I mean, I guess if you're going down, it's probably the best way to do it. If you're going to jail, you know,
Yeah.
it's better not show any remorse. There was a guy in California, I think in California, who killed 2 like sheriff's deputies. He was an illegal or an undocumented worker.
This is the worst.
Sorry, he was undocumented. Matt's eating everybody,
They can tell who's talking.
and he got his sentence. And he was like, they were like, "You're guilty." And he was like, "Yay!" And he said he was going to kill more cops. I don't know. I mean, maybe you kind of have to respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
It seems like that happens to all these guys, though. They don't.
I kind of look at it like this. It's like you're on trial and it's like a big part of your life. So if you're willing to be fucking brazen and hilarious in the most intense part of your life, I kind of look at that as like if you intentionally threw your Montreal edition just to be funny. You know, like if it's like you already know you're not going to make
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
When
well,
people-
folks.
Right. When people have nothing to lose, that's when like real comedy comes out.
Right.
And I think that's why you see a lot of comics like they get funnier as they get older because they realize it like, well, you know,
Yeah.
who knows? And I'm just gonna do what's funny. To
Right.
me.
You're just going to die one day anyway. So
Right.
you might as
Right.
well just fuck around.
And it's like even like getting invited to the party where Jennifer Lawrence is at. It's not even that great. She's not even gonna talk to you. You know, just
That's
fucking,
right.
just have your shitty
Yeah.
podcast where you say
Going on.
you say retard and cunt.
Going
It's
on
so
at the
much
food
more
table.
liberating, baby.
Yeah. All right.
I just got to say one more thing. I mean, like, there's some crumbs around the house, and I can't wait to stop the show and use this dustbuster, dude. Oh my god.
I can't wait either.
Oh my fucking god.
All right. So any last words for
After I eat my Blue Apron, you know what I do? I use my Black & Decker dustbuster to sweep up the fucking crumbs. Ooh, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Blue Apron also. I made some coconut shrimp.
Right.
Anyway, I would like to read a quote from Frank Gangi ratted. Frank Gangi felt really bad. He says he feels bad about the murders, but he says he also feels bad for ratting.
I think you referenced this quote in part 1.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, where he said, "Take your punishment like a man."
Yeah, well, let me do it again. This is Patera.
Okay.
Gangi said he was sorry about killing. The thing with being a rat is like it's got to be a tough thing to go through. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
me and you, it's like we're friends.
Mhm.
But it's like if I was like wearing a wire and you know I like walked into your house and was like spying on you and you know it really like
Right.
it's a fucking tough thing to do.
Yeah, I imagine you got squeezed, but you still know that you're wrong. You know, your principles are folding.
Yeah.
You're being a total bitch.
So I'm sure there's parts where you're wearing a wire and you're like, I should just do the fucking 700 years they're gonna give me instead of this shit.
Right.
Here's Patera. Ganji said he was sorry about killing 5 people and that he became an informer because he wanted to start a new life. He gets 10 years, a good deal, and he goes whimpering and weeping to the judge looking for a break. If you're really sorry for killing 5 people, you take your punishment like a man. Later in 1992, Judge Raji the judge again refused a motion to reduce Ganji's sentence. On April 3rd, 2012, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals denied Patera's motion for DNA testing of the guns and other evidence in 3 of Patera's murders. As of April 2017, Patera is serving a life sentence at the United States Penitentiary McCreary in Pine Knot, Kentucky. Patera's inmate number. Why would they give the inmate number in this article?
I don't know. Who cares? Maybe it's so we
Should
can
we
say
say
hello.
it? It's on Wikipedia. Guys, send him a fruitcake or something.
Yeah. I think they need to be able
29
to accept it, but I mean, this guy's probably hurting for attention, you know?
Yeah, 29465-053. And yeah, still alive, still kicking,
Yeah.
still got his spirit.
That's
I
right.
wish Frank was here.
You know, karate in prison is probably a good tool.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel good about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so what else is new?
Nothing with me.
Some housekeeping stuff. We guys, once again, we really appreciate everybody listening
Thank
to the
you.
show. It's nice to not do this show for nobody.
Yep.
I want to thank the guys who are supporting us on Patreon.
That's right. I'm pulling up their names right now.
Yeah.
We have an Instagram now. We have a Twitter. You know, you can write us at Gmail. Everything's Sit Down Pod. Pretty easy. Facebook. Everything's there. You know, thank you so much.
So a big thank you to Dog Just.
Stop chewing food. It's like 2 more minutes.
All right, it's from Joe and Pat's. Also, somebody last week was like, your take on L&B Spumoni Gardens was terrible. I'm just not. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to go back. I went there one time and I thought it was just okay.
Sure. What did they thought it was good?
Yeah, they're like because I didn't think it was that great. Too much oregano in the sauce. But we'll go back. We'll take a little pizza tour.
Sure.
We got to do that, Matt. We got to do a little South Brooklyn pizza tour.
I'm down. I mean, I
We got to hit Totano's.
I could be your dumb straight man. You know, like I'm. You could teach me about
Straight
the
man.
sauce. Yeah, I could be the dumb gay man.
There you go. That's more like it.
The comedy act gay man.
Say I'm a gay man. Say it.
I'm a gay man. I've already binge watched Queer Eye. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, I want to say thanks to Amelia Francisco, Scott Devery, Keith Bond, Daryl Johnson, Ben Heps. Sorry if I butchered that. Christopher Jones, the Giraffe, hilarious Patreon name. Alex Easterling and Dog.
Yeah, so we got premium episodes coming out March 1st. And then if you guys would like to do a one-time donation, my Venmo is Michael-Racine-2. On Venmo, that's Michael-Racine-2. But like we always say, the best thing you guys can do is just tell your friends about this show.
Please tell your friends.
Yeah, follow us on social media at Mike Recine, at Manderson.
Yeah,
at
Manderson Comedy. Yep.
At Sit Down Pod. And then I'm going to plug a road gig. That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in Boston at the House of Blues on February 23rd. I'm headlining a show up there. There's a little smaller room that will be listed on my website. But that's February 23rd, Friday night. Get tickets and come out. And we appreciate you guys. Anything else?
That's it.
I'm also doing a little run of shows. I'm doing Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Detroit. 3rd week of March. So I'll have more information on those dates. But from that area, come on out. I'd love to see you. And yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of The Sit Down. Bye-bye.